No, we're not.
There
There you go.
it is.
You think we practiced? Adam,
I'm in danger.
What's up, shellheads? We should probably do that twice.
not now. That's it.
Oh my god! All right,
We're still discussing. You're just like live.
we're live. Woo, this is why we're not monetized. Welcome back, everybody.
Jesus.
Fuck it. Welcome back to Beautiful Tuesday night. Screw it, Johnny. How are you, man? You doing good?
Yeah, salut. Drinks
Awesome.
and toys. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome back to Drinks and Toys, everybody. Wheezy, how are you?
I'm
Very silent.
good, man. I'm fucking here after a long day of hell.
Yeah, so
Okay.
shellheads, we appreciate you coming back. As always, it's a beautiful Tuesday night, and we always have a great time with you. Welcome back to Drinks and Toys, where we do what we do best, which is maybe throw back a few, whether it be tea, soda, drinks, and we talk about toys. And so tonight, not to rehash some old things, and we're waiting for somebody to jump online. We love our regulars, Mr. Gus and Miss Lady Fran. Rebel Girl come back on. Steve, the Steve Show, you name it, they come back on. We appreciate them. There it is, Gustavo.
Don't forget Mecha Dome Turtle. Like,
well, yeah, he'll jump on. I assume it's a he. Jump on at some point. But tonight, a couple things we're talking about.
10 minutes before the end.
We're not gonna dive too much into the tariff thing, but we do need to address some things that have come up, just from personal purchases and so on and so forth. I think everybody's kind of thinking the same thing, where the tariffs are starting to impact what we're receiving, and then we've seen some wonkiness with NECA. Definitely have to address that. I'm sure somebody else is. I say they're wonky, but and then some of the slowdowns, the eBay buyer slowdowns, the NECA buyer slowdowns in store, the shelf warmers, and then of course HasLab. Do we predict anything else is coming, or do we think HasLab is going to take a break for a while, just in light of all the import issues and so on and so forth? So first things first, let's dive into the tariff thing, because I want to get that out of the way and move on. I want to talk about that the whole cast. And I know, like Weez, you said the same thing. You want a fresh taste in your mouth.
No, screw that. First things first. Screw that. First things first. Did you fix Shellhead Facebook so we could be live on there, or do you not fix that? Because we're not live on there.
Great question.
You didn't fix it.
Anytime someone says that's a great question, that means no.
So I am showing YouTube and my Facebook profile are both live.
Correct. That I can agree with.
I don't see anything else.
It's all right. Most of our fans and our views come from YouTube, so it's all good. So you just by next week we should get that fixed. How about? Can we shoot for that goal?
Yeah, we could. You want to let the guys in our group know that we're live?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
So listen, I want to jump on this tariff thing, and only very, very briefly and very quickly. So Shellheads, Shellhead Toys likes to purchase some quality products from outside vendors that could be possibly, in fact, impacted by the tariffs. And we have not seen that problem yet. Only recently did I get an email that said, hey, a particular item you ordered could be on a delayed delivery. And what that essentially means is the tariff at the port is keeping that product from being delivered. Now, that cost has not been moved on to me yet, or Shellhead Toys or anything of that nature. Wheezy and I, neither one of us has seen that. But we have seen that it is delayed. So we may not be getting the product as quickly as we thought. I have a handful of items that I'm waiting to come on board because they're for the next show in Tampa. And we got some really cool stuff I'm very excited about. But it has not landed yet, or if it has, we have not received notice it's coming to us. The only notice we've received is that something has been delayed and that they're being held up at port. So kind of spooking us a little bit. But Johnny, have you seen any of that yet for yourself?
I have not actually seen as far as any of my deliveries delayed yet. But I do know it's more than likely coming. Uh, uh, so I think I've been lucky so far that the stuff I've kind of ordered has already been here in the U.S. and they're just shipping it from said warehouse out. Now it's going to be interesting because I do have some third party um, Transformers figures. For example, like Magic Square and stuff like that are due to release later on this year. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens with those because those pre-orders already paid for.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So,
So I'm in your
I
same
mean-
boat where we've purchased a lot of the same things for resale, and the concern is going to be that not that we're going to get them because I know we're going to get them. The concern is going to be what are we going to be paying in the end? Are we going to be paying that premium, the up pay or whatever, like the tariff pay, whatever it is? Is that going to get passed down to us, or are we grandfathered in because we already paid for that product? We don't know. We'll see when that product actually drops and comes to port. What up, Nicole?
Well, I think that's going to come down to the companies themselves, right? Because you already see notices going out from like Big Bad after our episode last week where Tony had the contract and all this information about Big Bad and what they had turned out to be kind of wrong, but not from lack of, not because Tony was wrong, but it's lack of knowledge on that.
I'm not
system.
wrong. It's just, like you said,
We
lack
just
of
don't know
knowledge. I'm
their
never
ins and
wrong.
outs, right? But the email came out saying that they're not going to be able to take the hit like they thought they were, and people are going to have an option before their item ships to pay the tariff increase or cancel their orders.
Yeah.
Which, and it comes down to it, by the time the items come in, the tariff could be more, the tariff could be gone. Like every day, the tariff changes. One day it went from like 40 or 50% up to 125% within a day. Like who knows what happens, but we're going to have to wait and see where that goes. But as far as what you were discussing earlier with what we're seeing now, I ordered something from China last week and it got delivered today and there was nothing on it. There was no tariff charge, no additional. The price online when I bought it was the same price it's been since I've been buying the items. So I don't know if they're going for the hey Rebel.
What's up, baby?
I don't know if there's like if they figure out how to do the tariffs on small orders coming from an actual Chinese retailer versus American companies importing for sale. I don't know if there's a difference there, but I'm not getting hit anything I've gotten from China at all.
So I think it's relative to whoever is in the country. I think, what the hell is Nintendo?
She means Nintendo. Come on.
You know Nintendo, man.
No. It's funnier because of what she's writing. Nicole, that's hilarious, by the way. Enjoy your nut. So I think I think whatever's Gus is like, yeah, that's right. Whatever's coming in, I think is relevant to if it's an in-state reseller, right? So let's say Ally has all these customers who are vendors who are in-state, and so I don't think we're going to feel that tariff yet. But these the out-of-country providers, I think we're going to see those for sure. We're going to feel those at some point. We have to. It just makes sense.
Like I said, I mean, what I ordered came directly from China. When you look at the post on it, it's all in Chinese, like it's directly from China. Like I got the information from Ally. Oh, it left the country. It cleared customs. It's on its way to you. Not one of the ones where they have like a U.S. warehouse where it's already here. Like it came from China. I mean, it's weird. I'm just wondering if it's because we're small. You're like just a retail purchase and you get underneath that radar.
You think so?
It's possible because, like I told you earlier, you think the terrorists would want my $20 action figure I bought, or
no? So I follow you. So
shipping container full of proton packs. Like, what do they want?
Well, and the thing is too, I thought it was like an $800 minimum for those.
I don't know. There's so much.
So my whole thought process to that, and I said this before, and I think it might be stupid, but this is my thought. So AliExpress and those companies like Timo and all that crap, right? It's all the same garbage, different platform. So when you buy like, turtles, maybe not they try to get a markup. If not, the markup is coming on those items that they're already selling for like $3 and $4, and they bump them up to $5 or $6. So they're making up the difference in the junk product that they're selling that people think is a deal. Maybe I'm wrong.
The only reason I don't see that being the route is because, like, when you're looking at the actual website and you see $22.99 or $22 for an item, right?
Right.
If you're in Chile and you go on, you're going to see that same price in whatever the currency there is, but that price isn't going to change. So, like, if you see some of these other vendors, like Big Bad or whatever, they're going to have a separate thing just for the tariff charge. So if you're going through Ally, the only way I can see them doing is that you go to checkout, then the tariff thing pops up because they supply the entire world. They're not going to sit there and change the prices of their items just because America's tariffs went up. They're not going to change it on their platform. They'll
Good call.
attach it at the end on us.
It would just show in the initial pricing, so there's no sticker shock.
Right.
I guess.
They won't do that because they're not going to sit there and make their people in Australia pay for the tariff because America's going batshit crazy at the moment.
Yeah, so you might see a thing in the future where, like, all right, where you go to select the item, and you know how usually it'll ask you to select with box, no box.
Yep.
You might have a thing that pops up before that says select country or region.
Tariff, no tariff.
Exactly.
Well,
there's got to be a way to do it, right? Because if I buy something from AliExpress right now, I still pay taxes on it. They still hit me with the 7% taxes that Florida has for my area. But if somebody in New York buys something from Ally, it hits them with the New York taxes, right? So it's all in the checkout system. They've got it set up. So there's no reason they couldn't just attach a code to be, oh, here's a tariff tax for U.S. addresses. And it pops up right at the end. You'll see subtotal, taxes, shipping, tariff.
That's a good call. I don't know, man.
And you know what's really weird and kind of sucks about that is how the way you describe it, it's almost like it's going to be a normal thing.
Well, so it may be for a short period, right? These are not,
but yeah,
these are not end all be all. It's not like this is the thing and forever going forward. This is going to be it. These can change. These can go back down. We don't know. That's exactly the point. But so I guess the point is to discuss what's happening now and what's affecting people now, collectors, sellers, whatever.
Right. You can only speak in the present time. We can't predict, especially with how things are. You have tariffs one day, tariffs the very next day gone, right? So you can't say what it's going to be next week. We don't know. So we can only talk about what's in the moment.
So, which kind of brings me to the next point, which we were talking about. Like we all said, we didn't want to. Good call, good call. I love her. We didn't want to do this. Spend all day on tariffs. We don't want a bad taste. We just want to move past it. But we had to talk about it because it's very real. It's what's affecting a lot of us. So, or at least resellers for sure. So what we talked about was NECA, and we experienced something today actually where NECA gave a percentage off of a certain toy. And this is my personal opinion. This doesn't mean anything else. Don't be grinning, motherfucker. All right. So this is my personal opinion. I don't think NECA's going out of business. Let me put that out there. But I do think NECA is feeling the squeeze of their product not moving like they thought it would. So they produced in larger quantities than they used to. Don't say anything yet. They produced in larger quantities than they used to. And so the product is no longer, like we've said before, sought after. So it's like, I want it. But FOMO is starting to fade away more and more. Even in myself, where I don't bother running out to Target immediately when I hear somebody saw it in a store. I used to hit Target every flipping day until the product dropped. I don't do that anymore because FOMO's not there. I see it on the shelf. I can wait. I'll see it. It'll be there, and it's shelf warming. Now, I do think that NECA said, all right, we're producing, we're making our money, but now, for whatever reason, whether it be tariff-related or whatever's causing it, maybe people just aren't buying as much. John and I talked about it. We've seen it on eBay. We've just seen people not buying like they used to. So is that affecting NECA purchases? And is that going to cause NECA to say, hey, we're going back to old school NECA, which is you get one or two of everything on shelf, and if you don't get it, you're due to deal with the scalpers?
So I think NECA is toning back their production, or they will be. I don't think they are right this very second because they're still putting out crazy amounts of shit. I won't be surprised if NECA does tone it down because of all the shelf warming that is going on, because they have overproduced.
Already on the way, Gus, by the way. Sorry, go ahead.
And I'm pretty sure that the overproduction is from the COVID collectors, because COVID is when the turtles dropped. If you remember, the first few waves of the turtle stuff was impossible to find.
Sure.
Like, you had to really hunt it down. The April 2-pack with...
Which, ironically, Chris, I have all of those to sell, and nobody touches them.
Right. But when they first came out, those things you could not find. Yeah. Those sets were hitting $200-$300 a piece, right? Because they weren't overproduced. But then as those numbers were going up, NECA started pumping out more and more and more. So now the past 2 years of Holothon can still be found. When Holothon first hits, everything sells out fast. It sells out, but then they start doing replenishments. And I think they're over replenishing because they're going by older numbers. They haven't updated their sales numbers yet.
I agree.
Which is also why we had that amazing mystery boxes last year, because they had so much product on the shelves, shelf warming, that Target's like, yo, we need space. Get this shit out of here. Bring in new product. And that's what NECA's doing, right? So the thing you mentioned with the Stump Turtles, right? So if you go on NECA's website right now, they have a bundle pack that's the Stump Turtles, the Stump Wrestling Turtles, the Stump Leatherhead, and Crying Hound, the four-armed dog.
And I think for some reason, I want to say Mondo is on there.
Maybe. It's possible. If he's a Stump figure, I think all the Stump-related figures are on there. But if you buy that bundle right, no, it's the 4-pack and then 2 individuals.
Yeah.
So when you buy that bundle, you then have access to purchase another bundle of a set of bundles. If you buy one of those bundles, one of those other bundles is 50% off. The other bundles is like Mikey from The Last Ronin, and then him as The Last Ronin, a 2-pack, not a 2-pack, but 2 boxes shipped together. It's a bundle. That'll be 50% off. Or Baxter Stockman and Fugitoid. You buy those 2, that's a bundle. You get those at 50% off. But the Stump Turtles and all that's full price. So the new shit's not on sale. It's the older stuff that they need to just move it because it's not selling. They have a warehouse full, and they need to get rid of it. But like I said, I think all of that's going to lead down to them making less stuff. And then we're going to go back to the early days of NECA Turtles and having a nightmare of a time buying it. Because once that happens, the scalpers will come back in full force and buy it all, and then we're fucked.
So I think that, and I also feel that all of this shit that is shelf warming right now, we're going to do another round of NECA blind boxes.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and we're going to be able to buy for $100. NECA blind box worth like $400, and you're going to get the Stump Turtles. You get all the shit available.
They still have some available on the site.
Well, and I'm not going to lie, dude. You don't miss out. Anything I ever bought has not been a disappointment. I bought all the NECA blind boxes, and the horror characters, like,
wants to buy the horror one.
Well, Wheezy wanted some. I found a couple pieces I wanted. I sold some pieces. The quarter scale Mikey tune, I sold that at the last show. I mean, there's some great pieces. Now, there's a lot of $10 and $5 bargain bin shit in there that shelf warmed at Target. But look, do you want to spend $5 or $10 at a vendor for a certain alien, or do you want to spend $35 at Target for something that's been sitting on the shelf for 6 months?
Right.
They sell quick. I mean, Rebel Girl and I sold quite a few of the, and we didn't realize we had them, but the rando alien figures, we put them on the table. The boxes are fucked. People are picking them up, looking through them. They're like, oh, it's really cool. Like $10, like, I'll take it.
Alien and Predator figures sell pretty good, man. Like Alien Predator.
I'm actually surprised. I was surprised, man. Like, I enjoy the movies. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not like you. But, like, they sold, man. Like, we had them on the table. and they were just randos and shit sold.
But I think that's what we're going to see. We're just going to start seeing the production numbers drop down on NECA stuff.
Yeah.
And we might see in the
And
future
you gotta-
some of the more random characters might become fewer and far in between. Like they might not do those rando characters as much anymore.
Yeah. And you got to think about it too. Right now, the state of everything, a lot of folks aren't as fortunate to have that extra income to spend on figures. You know, they got to make decisions on other things versus, you know, picking, you know, or buying everything, you know, as far as being completists.
Well,
You know, so people are starting to be a little more picky as far as what they're picking up, you know.
yeah, no,
whether
for
it's, you know,
sure. But anybody right now who's blaming tariffs for that, though?
no,
I
that's
don't
not
s-
tariffs.
Yeah, no, but people are automatically blaming tariffs. Oh, the prices are gonna the prices on in store for tariffs haven't hit yet. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
the
It's
product
not
that
been
we're getting
passed
in
down.
Targets and
Yeah,
Walmart,
now.
it's been in their warehouse for a year and a half that they're
Yeah.
moving into. Like those prices aren't going to go up yet unless the store's a dickhead's like, oh, tariffs, we're just gonna jack up all the prices already. But just normal bullshit of the economy that's different. That's not tariff based. But Johnny is right though.
The price of things have been going up for a minute. Even
I
before
mean, that's
the
how it
tariffs.
goes, though, right?
Yeah. So
That's
and
inflation.
so that you give that, and now this whole quote unquote scare with tariffs and everything. You know, a lot of folks are kind of like, well, I'm gonna be a little picky, and I'm gonna
The
not,
tariff
you know,
monster.
yeah. Tony the tariff monster.
You just need
Hey,
to get
so-
the wig.
How do we
Emo
listen?
wig.
Let's do some invites, man. Maybe we'll change this up a little bit. What does it take to get Gustavo on here in video? We send him a link, get him on board.
Well, this was an undiscussed plan.
I don't care.
Yeah,
Gus, you want to be
maybe,
part of the solution or
maybe
part of the
plan
problem?
that a little better.
What are we looking at time wise? What we got? What we got? Okay.
It's
Cool.
only 9:15.
No. I said time, but I meant viewer wise. Like, where are we looking at viewers?
Oh, I apologize.
No, I said time though. It was completely my fault.
Sorry, my bad. I just figured like if we want to BS, we get a person on Poofed 5. Ha ha ha. Cole, go home.
Okay.
So,
So yeah,
He's home.
like if we wanted to get Gus on here, he's got some great insight. Maybe he can actually contribute something worthwhile.
wow.
All right, so let's backtrack a little bit. So we're talking about tariffs, we're talking about toys, we're talking about everything, and so it brings me to the next thing that I mentioned in our group, which was the HasLabs. And I don't mind being in the show. Gus, we'd love to have you on, man. How do we do that? Can we? Johnny, Wheezy, is that not tonight or maybe another night or what?
you'd have to send him an invite.
All right. Well, Johnny has to do it because Gus, or I don't have you on my.
I mean,
stuff.
do we have like rules about against having like brothers on? Like, do we only have one? Do they have to fight to the death? Or
like
something?
brothers or brothers?
Both.
Oh, the brothers
Yes.
that aren't brothers. I'll message Patrick. He'll come on board.
Like does Johnny and Goose, do they have to like kill each other?
I don't know. It's like a
There
I
can
don't
be
know.
only one.
it might
Yeah.
be more of a Dragon Ball thing. I'm
Like
not
a
sure.
Highlander thing? Is that dated?
There could be only one.
Do these kids know what Highlander is?
No,
They don't know.
not at all.
But to answer your question about HasLabs,
Yes. So
I don't think HasLabs will be doing anything until there's more stability in what's going on with the tariffs.
So, to your point, do you believe it's
Yeah, I
tariffs
agree
or
with
do you
that.
believe it's just the buyer's market right now?
Both.
Of both.
Because like Johnny said, a lot of people are adjusting their buying habits under the fear of the tariffs. Right?
Okay.
But then also the tariffs in general, if they're getting their product from China, they're going to have to pay 125% more. Then they have to try and justify those costs to the consumer. Now, we all know that the tariffs, that they don't work. Like, just the example with the Ecto one, was it $500?
Yeah.
the tariffs or whatever Hasbro's paying, Hasbro's not paying $500 an Ecto 1, right? So say Hasbro's paying 100 just for easy conversation. The tariffs should be based on that 100, not the 500 mark. But even then, if it's on the 100 and they have to up it now to 200, they're going to have to adjust their pay so they can get the same, profit margins and shit. And then they have to wonder if that's going to just scare away too many people at that point. Those prices are going to have to go up. And as big as those HasLabs are, those are big price jumps. It's not a $3 change. It could be hundreds of dollars.
So do you think we're going to see HasLabs? I'm sorry, Johnny, go ahead.
No, I was saying, and that's actually a really good point, and that brings up other things too, like Kickstarters and all that stuff. Usually, you see the Kickstarters; they'll do like a whole wave of figures, and you're looking at $500 to $600 for all the entire wave of figures if you're going all in, right? So, what's that going to do moving forward from there? It's not just HasLab's going to get affected with that; it's going to be a lot of those stuff too.
So do you think we're going to be seeing 600, 700 for Kickstarter's minimum start for all in on figures?
I think you're seeing smaller waves, smaller numbers.
You say smaller waves. You think you're going to be seeing less people doing it? Or
no, I say smaller waves. So example, the Cursed Dead guys, their first wave is 6 or 7 figures.
I think it'll be 4, 3?
3 or 4. You know what I mean? Smaller waves, so it's not as much, but they'll also still be possibly around the same price point that they would have gotten for the 6 figures for the 4. You know what I mean? There's going to be adjustments made if they want to do it.
Off subject, Johnny, did you find a way to get Gustavo on, or are we passing on that tonight?
No, I didn't even look. You got the link. Just send it to him.
Well, I've got the touch. You've got the power.
In the top corner, Tony, there's a little thing that shows like a person with a plus sign.
Yeah, I know. All right, so copy link. And then Gustavo.
So like I said, while you do that, I don't see Hasbro doing any type of HasLab, at least not in their normal HasLab way. Now, they might have to restructure it. It might become smaller stuff. Maybe do like more of the pre-order type thing like they did with Dragon Man, where they know what the price is going to be, this and that, versus having all the stretch goals and just like, this is what we're going to do. Possibly, but...
Which is an interesting point, because then it brings up the question, well, is it even worth it? Because their whole spin and their whole argument on HasLabs is doing things that are like really unique, super fantastical, all this exaggerated shit, So then what do you do at that point when they have to cut it back so much? And it's like, well, is it even worth putting your money in on that?
Tony's got something to say. He's about
I'm trying to send something to Gustavo. I don't have him anywhere. I don't have any other way to send it to him. So, Johnny, it's got to be you if you have a direct contact.
Cool. So, Johnny does not seem interested.
Gustavo, can you Facebook Messenger me, man? Something?
Let's see.
So, yeah, I don't see it. Like, they very well might. I just don't think they will until at least there's a calm in the storm.
So I guess so. What do you think? So like, you think we're gonna get jacked on the Mythic Legions by chance? We kind of dabbled on this before.
I mean, you very well might, but you might run into the same type of thing like Big Bad's doing. Like, hey guys, they're getting ready to ship. This is what the tariff's gonna be. We're gonna need you to shoot over some more funds to cover the tariff charge. That might happen. I don't think they're going to cancel it like some of the Kickstarters have done where they just canceled everything. I don't think the Legion is going to cancel that, but they might hit you at the end when it gets closer, say, know what the tariff's going to be. Ask for that money. Especially if it's hundreds. I can see if it's like, oh, it's a $10 tariff, they'll eat it, right? They'll be like, okay, whatever, we'll eat that. But if each one's got hundreds possibly attached to it, yeah, I see them asking you guys for money. Johnny, did you get a new tattoo?
Nope.
No, that just looks really like it looks like fresh ink on your arm when you lift it up.
No.
But we'll see.
So HasLab. So okay, let's say nothing changed, and we're back in the game like OG, like 2 years ago, everything's straight, and it's like, hey, we're doing HasLabs. If you had to guess, because I keep like paying attention, right? So I'm like, all right, we do this. It like keeps jumping back and forth. So we've done G.I. Joe. We've got 2 jets coming out. Well, not coming out, but we have 1 good guy jet, 1 bad guy jet. We have the Hiss tank. We have the Firefly. We have, that's it, right? We have 4 things for G.I. Joe. 4. That was 3. That's 4.
I mean, I still want to know why can't they take those jets that are coming out and rework them to be Transformers?
Okay, but move past that for a minute. So we've got
I want to know.
we've got the Rattler. We've got the Sky Striker already came out. We got the Rattler. Okay, let me start at the beginning. We have Sky Striker and the Hiss. That came out. We had the Dragonfly that came out. So we have 2 good guy things and 1 bad guy thing. And then the Rattler has not come out yet. So that'd be 4. So that's 2 and 2. 2 bad guys, 2 good guys. So that's done. Then you've got for Ghostbusters, you've got what? You had a Proton Pack. You had what'd you have before?
No, you had the Proton Pack.
The car
For actual HasLabs. No, but for actual HasLabs, you had the Proton Pack.
Right.
And then you have the 2 in a box, which is the Ghost Trap and the PKE meter.
Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize. So yeah, we had that, and then we had the car, which obviously has not come out yet.
Right.
So Ghostbusters, they're kind of done. G.I. Joe's done. Transformers, we had the Robots in Disguise piece. We had recently the not Leo Kaiser. What the hell was the thing recently? Is it Leo Kaiser?
Yeah, that was Leo Kaiser.
Yes, we had that. So Transformers is done.
Or Breast Force.
Whatever it's called. And then so
yeah.
So after that would be back to Star Wars.
It is.
And what's the last thing we had Star Wars? The Cantina area?
Yeah, that still hasn't come out yet.
So we're back to Star Wars because they don't have anything else. They're not going to Power Ranger it, which I don't know why.
I don't think they should do HasLabs until the previous HasLab is finished, right? At least for the same line. Like they shouldn't do another Star Wars until the Star Wars Cantina is delivered. Because then you just got all these people buying these HasLabs, they're not getting anything. And then you're sitting backed up on HasLabs for one particular line.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
But as far as like what could they do next, like I imagine there's probably some ship they could do in Star Wars that they haven't done yet. Or some giant creature. Like
I'll tell you that I said this to you guys already. I didn't I'm late HasLabs, right? I'm real late HasLabs. I'm like, I didn't know they even did this shit. So I would buy the fucking barge in a minute. That thing comes with 1,000 figures. And it's the coolest fucking scene with Jabba. You've got Slave Leia. You've got all the shit going on. You got a Salacious Crumb. That's the whole thing for me. The whole thing looks amazing. And I'm like, why don't I own that? Why don't I like Star Wars that much? But I like that. That thing's fucking awesome.
I mean, I'm trying to think of what they could do, right? So they could do an AT-AT, a big ass AT-AT.
That'd be dope.
Right. As I said, like Star Wars has a bunch of ships and vehicles that they could do. Or if you want like one of the damn worm that eats Boba Fett. You do a scene of that. Have that shit. But like I can't see them doing much else. I can't see them doing much else besides some random ships. Same thing with G.I. Joe. It's gonna be a bunch of vehicles, right? Bigger vehicles. Ghostbusters for
Firehouse?
That'd be massive. That'd be like HasLab times 2.
Yeah, but think about what NECA has done with like scale and size for things. I mean, why couldn't you?
Because you got to remember, if they're trying to do it at scale,
Super 7. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but if you're trying to do it at scale, you'd have to make that firehouse big enough for the Ecto 1 to sit in. And the Ecto 1's like 2.5 feet long.
Super 7, the Catzler is like 4 feet wide, opened.
Okay, that's open. Do you remember the movie? Like the Ecto one didn't just like slide in. Like that thing had room. They were doing work around it. Like it's a massive firehouse. Like that thing would be insanely big. It would literally have to be like the size of like one of these fucking things right here.
Listen, all it needed was brake relinings, brake rebuild, engine rebuild, transmission rear end. Only 4,800.
Yeah, everything.
He was like,
now where I could see them doing for like Ghostbusters, and unless for a HasLab, the only thing I can see them doing for Ghostbusters for a HasLab is if they took either a real Ghostbusters Ecto one, which if you don't have figures in that scale, it wouldn't make sense to do. But they could do an entire wave of figures as a HasLab, right? So all the figures you're missing from after what is it? The Frozen Empire, the new movies, any characters from the first movies that are missing, ghosts and stuff, you could do those as like a wave of 6 or 7 figures and have that be in HasLab. That way you can support, get what you want. But even then, I think they should just do that shit as like the pre-orders they did with Dragon Man. Give us a couple of the bigger ghosts that we want and do it as a pre-order. You don't have to do it as an actual HasLab.
so I'm not trying to be negative because I know you have to support not just the OG, you have to support the upcoming, right?
Right.
So like the newer movies and all that crap. I guess like I have a hard time getting past that because all I can think is I just see more figures of the original guys and their ghosts. But you can only do so much with that. Like Turtles. You can only do so much with the 4 brothers.
Right. So with Ghostbusters, as I said, they had to go for the ghost, right? Start giving us the ghosts. The Scolari brothers from the second movie. Give us Janos as the witch. Like, give us the random characters also that don't have figures from the first 2 movies. The ghosts from the first 2 movies. You have a good 10 figures right there if you go that way. And then for a collector who has all the other Ghostbusters and has the characters from Afterlife, like you're missing characters from Frozen Empire. And then the ghost, Garaka from Frozen Empire, is a massive ghost. Like you need that for your Ghostbuster collection to complete it. All those things could be one big ass HasLab and give you all the figures you're missing.
Now, something interesting too. They could steal a page out of NECA's book and do like you remember the cartoon, the real Ghostbusters, right? The cartoon. Make a movie version of those characters. That'd be kind of interesting to see what that would look like.
Johnny, I'm gonna need you to shut your whore mouth, okay? I don't need to be spending more.
But
I
that
don't
would be
need to
really
do
cool.
real Ghostbusters through Mondo, goddammit.
I'm just saying, I would buy those. I'd buy that for $1.
But then you get people like Tony who would dog the hell out of it because like that never happened. That was never a thing. Why would we have that?
Because it's fun.
Tony doesn't like to have fun. He likes to collect toys. He doesn't want fun with his toys. He just wants toys.
I want boxes.
Yeah. You know what's really funny though? I saw a post today where this guy had a flag and he had it customized. And it was Transformers.
Yes, it looks so good with the Optimus Prime or the Autobot logo.
Yeah, and the Prime on it.
That's dope.
Well, it's based after the character. I can't remember his name right now. The character's name.
I know you're talking about.
Whatever. This. Yeah, but the thing is, there's this guy in the comment, like the very first comment on there is this guy is just totally like ripping into it, like pissed off that it was a flag and this and that. It's like, well, first off, it's a loose one that was sitting outside and was weather damaged and all this shit. So it was like damaged and it's missing parts anyways. So like, and secondly, like it's his figure. Like do whatever he's having fun with it. Like, I don't know.
Have you seen the guy with the collection where he paints it purple to look like Decepticons?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, it's incredible. This guy has the most epic collection I've ever seen in my entire life. And he bought 2 mobile homes and kept daisy chaining them together to make room for his collection. And it's fantastic. He has like G.I. Joes, and then he fades into Thundercats, and then he fades into like Star Wars. and everywhere you walk is a different toy line, and it's like a museum, and it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's on YouTube.
And we thought Tony had a problem.
I do have a problem.
Very much so.
No, not until you start actually buying neighboring properties and building connections between all those properties to have your different toy lines.
That could be me.
Like, I don't get when people get pissed off about anybody customizing or displaying their figures one way. I think people get so pissed off about how people enjoy their shit. Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Who wants
It's
to
like
pay
it's not
him?
yours.
Hmm?
Exactly, it's not yours, and you didn't buy it for. I mean, even if you did, so the fuck what?
Exactly. Oh shit! Look at it. He finally, Gustavo's joined the chat.
There it is.
It took a little bit of
What up?
techie magic, but I know
Hold up,
you
hold
guys
up.
are really
You're
good with
on,
it. What's up, bro?
and Nicole's the one with all the mouth, and she ain't even on here.
No, well, she ain't know if you wanted her on here or not. I can go get her. That way we can both just make fun of you and watch John laugh in the corner.
No, it's all good, man. Happy to have you on. Although you look like
Good
an
to be
anime
on.
character where you can't see your eyes, you just see the glaze over the glasses.
Yeah, I gotta be like this though. I don't.
Oh, you look like fucking Izari from Evangelion. Like you judging the whole world,
And
bro.
I gotta get the more shiny glasses.
They're
Like,
shining
my
right
son's-
now.
The world is
My
my
son's
oyster.
terrible.
Granddad
My wife is dead. Look like you're going fast. Your hair's all slicked back.
No, it's weird. He
It's-
looks
I
like
know,
a
it's-
heavier,
it's
younger
nice
version
hair.
of Granddad from the Boondocks.
Holy crap. Gustavo, man, welcome aboard. So, in any case, so we're oh shit, I'm getting a little drunk. Haven't drank in a while, guys, so this is starting to hit me. So we're talking about what, rocket ships? I don't even know what we're talking about. Kidding.
Well, I don't know because I didn't hear when I came in, but if we're talking about rocket ships, then you got to talk about like the 1930s original tin rocket ships that they sell for thousands, and they don't care if it's rusted, missing a fin or what. I mean, people will still buy that old Americana.
I actually wasn't talking about that, but now this is great. So we were HasLabbing,
You
right?
said
So-
rocket ships. I mean, I don't know if you're talking like. Are you talking about like space carriers? Are you
No,
talking
I was
about,
being a wise ass, man.
Enterprise,
I promise.
Firefly?
So we're HasLabbing. So, and then we started talking about the SS flag and stuff like that. So, there's a guy who has a really cool video on YouTube, and I forget who actually did it, but this guy has his Rebel. Nobody believes you, honey. I love you, but everybody believes me. I'm adorable, and everybody loves me. So,
Do they?
but when it comes to like these collectors, this one guy has like this room, and I'm telling you, man, you got to look for it on YouTube. I wish I could find it and share it with you, but it is the coolest collection I've ever seen because it's all loose and it's all very involved. You feel involved when you walk through this guy's collection just on video. So I can't imagine what it's like in person. And it's one of those things where I'm one of those guys where the reason I don't like loose figures, and no offense, UEs, in any way, shape, or form, man, I love you, but I don't like loose because people do the same thing you're doing, where it's like they don't have the room to do anything, but just have them sitting there, like stood up.
Right.
Whereas opposed to like, I want to see those characters in their habitat I would expect them to see them in. So
So-
I equate it to like a Sears wish list catalog. I
So-
want to see the figures like somebody's playing with them.
So you'd rather just have boxes and not see them at all?
Yes,
That's strange.
because I love box
That
art.
makes a whole lot of sense.
I want to
Just
see
go to
the,
Walmart, walk down the aisle, get your fill, and go home.
but I want to see the toys
So much
in
money.
displays where they're being played with.
Well, you can still do that, but have a diorama set up and have them set up like they're doing an event or an action, and have them just standing there.
Well, yeah, to that point. Yeah, like something like that. I mean, I don't know. Like, I want to see boppity boopity. I want to see things happening. Like I want to see these toys being enjoyed and played with. And like I love box art. I really do. I have appreciation for those guys. Well, maybe not so much nowadays because these guys, everything's automated, but these cats back in the day used to draw all that art on those boxes. It wasn't just generated. They had to take the time to draw that shit. And that was cool. And I enjoy that. So now I haven't like, where it bothers me where I see toys that are open and it's just like, it's on a shelf. Nobody's touching it.
Like
You might as well have it in the box.
I know you didn't mean it like this, but right
Here's
now
my question,
I'm picturing like a warehouse of like blank boxes, and there's just a bunch of guys sitting there hand painting every box.
I hate every one of you right now. I'm just throwing it out there.
That's what I'm picturing.
But like, isn't Tony's house the same way? Like, doesn't he just have them in boxes there, standing up doing nothing? Where Weezy at least has them out of the box and showing off.
I got to enjoy them, opened them up, you didn't put them up there, got them all state. Yeah. Tony's just
Gus,
here's the box, and stack it on top of these boxes.
I come from the world that don't start no shit won't be no shit. So,
as a child, Tony, did you even play with them? Like with
I'm gonna go ahead and I'll be right back. You guys go ahead and keep talking shit. I'll be right back.
Like we look in the background, he's got like display cases with boxes in it. Like, what the fuck are you, a pawn shop?
Whoa. You can ask J5. As a kid, I would bury my GI Joes. I took them out the box and they were straight up in a war, and some of them died, some of them didn't. They got buried out in the field.
But that's why those figures are worth money now, because we actually played with those damn things and there's barely any remaining. Oh man, Tony got so upset he left.
I'll get him a Mega Man figure to make it up to him.
It was really frustrating him. I'm just gonna make him disappear. See what happens. See when he comes back. Let me back in. Oh man, where is it?
So I am surprised you guys don't actually like bring up not only like the toys, but like the movies or even the little series that people do, like the Power of the Prime, the Combiners. As Tony said, Evangelion, things like this that will match with the toys or even some of the artwork, like Ghost in the Shell. Not only did he do, and I can't remember his name now, the manga artist who did Ghost in the Shell, but he did one called Phantom Cats. He did Appleseed DX. And a lot of these have also gotten toys and, movies and shows. So there's more to the artwork than just the boxes, even in the comics and things like this.
He actually makes a really good point. So some of these anime have fantastic look. The shows are what they were, even if they weren't good. The artwork is fucking awesome. Like I remember the movies. So if you guys remember, this is how old I am. So Vampire Hunter D.
Wow, Blue Girl? Oh.
You had Vampire Hunter D.
Vampire Hunter D movies.
Yes, and then you had Lust and you had Bloodlust. And Bloodlust at the time was like the peak of animation. It was so Manga Video, I think, was the person who put it out. The same people did like Ninja Scroll, and these were or the Wings of Oniami. These were phenomenal artistic renders of like these shows, and so I have a big appreciation for either comic book or anime or whatever that art is. Not like bubbly, like big eyes and all, huge boobs anime. I don't care about that shit. That's might as well be hentai to me. But I care about like they spent the time to do the artwork on.
I don't believe you.
What now?
There's nothing wrong with like some Bible.
I don't believe you.
I get it, right? There's big tits anime. I get it. That's great and whatever. And she'll do it while it's all
there's
blurred out. But
there's a whole room in the back that's just that. This inbox.
Yeah, that Tony's secret like racist room with those Mexican. Was it coral toy dildos?
So Rebel and I are going back to Mexico. Rebel Girl and I look, Daddy plays hard, and so Rebel Girl and I are going back to Mexico.
It'd be weird if you didn't.
I want another trip, so we're going back to Mexico. We got another all-inclusive resort. We're gonna get hammered and enjoy our lives.
Watch out for the whiskey.
And Tony's so proud.
I goddamn right I am. But
You gonna actually find some toys this time? Like Jesus.
I'm hoping so, man. Last time it was just like Gus was saying, it's just like big ceramic wieners and boobs everywhere.
Well, I mean, on a technicality, you could call those toys. You know, they're
If you're
adult
adventurous
toys.
enough.
I don't want to technically call them anything. It was the weirdest experience of my life. They're like, "Hey, you want to buy some candy and big giant penis?" I'm like, "No, I'm good, man.
How about the donkey show?
I'll take the penis. I don't need the candy. I'll just take the penis."
He's
Some
sold me.
wild
my
shit,
God.
man. That's all.
No, they're probably like, "Mira, English no very good looking today. You buy very special."
What if one of
That is
one of
special for
those
you.
like, giant penises was a Mexican transformer?
I would fucking buy that.
I know you
Also
would.
good.
There's the one that I have not bought because it's $70 on Amazon, and I keep wanting to buy it. So it's
Just buy Jesus.
it is. It's the Jesus of the Transformer.
Just buy Jesus already.
He transforms to
I
a cross, and then he goes, "I'm Jesus."
I showed John. There's a Metroplex, not a Metroplex. No, yeah, it is a Metroplex. That's about 2 feet tall, has lights, everything. It's like a smaller version of what you guys got, but it's more painted, more detailed.
Is that the one, Johnny? Is that the one from
I
Shows
don't know what
Ye?
he's
Mine got
talking about. But
canceled.
I know there's a Science Culture one.
There's
That's,
one that got
smaller
canceled
than
for me that
that one.
has.
That one's G1. That one's G1 Deco though. As far
No.
as the design of it, it's not IDW based. It's G1 based.
The one I thought he
And
was
the
talking about.
Science Culture one has one.
The one I thought he
I
was
don't know
talking
if
about was the one that I
I'll
saw, like Titan's Return.
I don't know about the Titan Return.
I'll send you a link.
But I know Science Culture had one. What was it? The year before. They released that one and that has lights and stuff. But that one's it's more a G1 like tune based G1 versus IDW.
Well, since we're
They're-
talking
they're all
IDW,
playing-
that makes me think comic books. So
Yeah,
Oh no, it was
like the 4-foot one is based off the comic book.
well, no, because I was just going on to a different topic of comic books because there's a new Alien versus Avengers comic. And
Versus Avenger.
Avengers, yeah. And
Really?
at one point, a face hugger jumps on Spider-Man's symbiote suit or some shit, and he becomes one with the symbiote.
Get the fuck out of here.
Really?
That's like a perfect storm, dude.
Some shit like that. Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I saw some stills. You just see like
I know
it's
there's
Spider-Man like in a white suit. He's got the face hugger on him, and it's on his chest, and just like takes over the emblem.
I know there's a Predator
shit.
versus Spider-Man.
That's soon to be a thing too.
What's the movie coming out? Isn't there a
Bro, there's that. Did you see the trailer for that animated Predator movie?
that's what I'm talking about.
Well, there's
Isn't
two
there
movies.
there's an Alien Real World or something coming out? Like Alien
No.
Earth?
Alien Earth. It's a
Oh,
Hulu
it's serious.
show. It's a TV show on Hulu.
Yeah.
Oh,
Series, yeah.
gross.
Well, there's
Okay.
a new Predator movie coming out by the same director for Prey, and then there's Predator Killers of Killers, which is the animated, I think, on Netflix.
Yeah. That actually looks pretty interesting. It looks pretty good.
It
It's like
does.
4 different stories. There's like 4 different predators, and they show them like in like old like samurais and shit fighting like old Asian times, Chinese times, whatever. It's like
Yeah,
it
and
looks interesting.
probably I would say in the 1600s, because none of them had any kind of flintlocks, and that wasn't introduced until the late 17th. So
Now we're
Guess
getting
that
real
was way
technical.
too specific.
Getting real technical on this.
I'm a history
You watched
nerd.
a lot of Ronin Kenshin.
No, I actually studied a lot of history.
In other words, he says he's smart. So-
You're talking about. Okay, I see what you sent me here. Yeah, you're talking about Big Mac. the Fort Max character.
We're talking about McDonald's now. I mean, I guess I
Yeah.
could eat.
Oh, there's a Fort Max. It's a third party company, and they named their Fort Max. They named it Big Mac.
Oh.
Okay.
Tony's
I mean,
favorite sandwich.
Let's just get those McDonald's Transformers then that make like.
I still actually have mine from when I was a kid.
One
But
I
also
remember is the
those big
hotcakes
ass
one.
ones that came out like earlier this year.
That's cool.
I
That's
still
the
have
only-
the chicken nugget one.
Oh my god, the Evangelican ones that came out. That was like a Japanese exclusive.
They had Evangelion hotcakes ones.
No, they had a McDonald ones crossover with them, so they transformed. They were like McDonald's, like just like
Holy
the
shit,
Transformer
dude.
ones.
I have my four favorite anime of all time. You've got Ava, of course, Akira, because it was a movie, Robotech, and then Generator Gall. And nobody I have ever met in my life has seen Generator Gall.
It's probably fake.
Generator Gall is phenomenal.
have to
And
look
it's
that one.
underrated.
Sounds fake. Sounds like Tony's making up his own thing to try and be like a Mandela effect.
It is the most underrated anime I've ever seen of all time, and it's mecha oriented, and it's fucking awesome. And I'm so upset it didn't go further. And it was probably one of the most traumatizing I ever watched. So Ava was like not traumatizing. Ava was just Ava. Nobody understood it. You had to watch the movies, and you still didn't understand it. You had to watch them like 3 times to understand the series. And then Robotech was Robotech. And then of course, so we had Evangelion, Robotech, Generator Gall, and what was the other one I was saying?
Akira, which everyone knows.
Akira, yeah. Which, yeah, if you saw it, you saw it. I mean, it's a great movie, but you got to watch it like 4 times to understand it. Now, this is kind of a big deal for me. There's a part in Akira where they're riding the bikes, and Tetsuo goes nuts. He gets like all like, his powers kick in, whatever the fuck's going on. And so they're going to fight him. And there's 2 different ones because in the Japanese, I think it is, and then you have the subtitled. In the Japanese, he goes, I gotta remember what he says. I think it's like, oh, Tetsuo, he like wants to fight or something, whatever he says. But in America, this is what I remember. He goes, he doesn't want me. He wants my bike. And that made more sense to
I
me.
remember
more
that
than-
scene.
Yeah, that made more sense to me because the bike was the whole problem. That was the whole, like, other than like Tetsuo getting bullied, not bullied, but like, oh, like you don't need to take care of me anymore. The biggest thing was he always wanted to be better than Kaneda, and then Kaneda had that bike, and he wanted Kaneda's bike. And Kaneda's
So-
like, you can't have my
Well,
bike.
it was a
Go
cool
yourself."
bike.
I was watching something the other day, and it was a bunch of anime nerds, and the one guy was saying how dubbed versions have a purpose because things that are said over there versus how it gets translated here doesn't make sense. But if they do an American dubbed version, they're able to change things like that to have it make sense. Like that's what they were trying to convey over there, but it doesn't translate properly. So they do the dub version, and they can actually show better context for the slower paced American audience to understand what the fuck's going on.
Well, that could be it for
Well,
Akira
part
because
of that is that there are little jokes in how they pronounce things that don't come out well in English. And there was a problem with Demon Slayer too, because they had these little jokes for some of the characters, and you would dub it, and it just wouldn't make any sense. So
Yeah, so
you can't get rid of it, but you want to include,
well, so like I never saw Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I
Mhm.
never saw the OG. I just watched the American dubbed version, which I'm a huge fan of because Rebecca is the best girl. But I never watched the Japanese version, so I don't know if there's been anything that's been like translated over improperly, if that makes sense. Have you ever seen the show?
I have. I don't remember anything being kind of untranslated like that. But like I said, it's not the translate. It's the little words that come out as a play on words.
Hmm.
They don't dub it really good, so they'll try to kind of redo a joke that doesn't fit in.
Right. That would be like an American that they made a joke about, like a pianist, but using it as penis. For us, we'd understand it, but in another country, it'd be like, what the fuck?
Yep.
So on that note, which is not on that note, Johnny, you're a pianist. No, I'm just kidding. So do you have Megatron handy?
I not really.
Oh,
Because I put it away because I'm saving that for
You put the pianist away.
yeah.
so I'll throw it out there.
Okay.
So we finally, as collectors, have seen that AliExpress is selling the knockoff
Bro.
G1 as close as it could possibly. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hold up a minute, actually. Show Z has had it actually for months before AliExpress popped up with those. So that's where actually this one came from, Show Z.
So, to Johnny's point, it may have been Show Z, but Ally is now shipping them. So either
For a
way,
cheaper price too.
it is the G1 knockoff, whatever you want to call it, repops, whatever you guys want to call it. It's as close to OG as you. Yeah, it's as close as you can get to fucking OG. I'm sorry, it is.
Is it the exact same thing, or is the Ally one a knockoff of the knockoff?
No. It's
Okay.
all the
I don't
same.
know yet.
I think it's all
I'm
the
actually
same
gonna
shit.
compare the three when they come in.
I think it's all the same shit, but Johnny and I can go back and forth with that. But I'm telling you, man, everything I've seen with these knockoff toys, they call them knockoffs for the OGs. I've watched so many reviews, and nobody has said that they are inferior. They all match up very well. They're great reproductions of the original toy. You may not get all of the OG reproductions in the box, but these Megatrons that are coming out, I watched a review and I was like, oh my God, you could fool somebody all day and tell them this is OG.
There is some slight differences. So like with this one here, it doesn't have the spring in it. So when you pull the trigger on it, it's not going to have.
You're correct. Yes.
Which of course the American version is not going to have that spring loaded in it where it fires the rocket.
But most
Like
people who buy that, and if they don't know it's a knockoff, they're not going to open that fucking thing. You know what I mean? They would never know that.
Yeah.
Right, but to
And
Johnny's point, he's right though.
On this one, there is the lettering on the back side. There is more lettering to it than on the original. So if you do have the two of them side by side, you can see that. But for the most part, as far as the paint, it's really weird. They even almost weigh the same in hand.
So I find it interesting that the Chinese or Japanese, wherever these knockoffs are being made
Dirty
from.
knees, look at these.
Sure. I always find it interesting that those the people who are making these are actually paying attention to the collector community more than the actual companies who own the franchises and the licenses. Right? Because like Hasbro won't make that because they don't want to make a gun, but if they fucking made it, people buy it. People want it, so here comes a knockoff. Right? NECA, people want the original Four Brothers from the Mirage style. NECA won't re-release them because they've been knocked off for so long. Oh, well, then here's AliExpress. Oh, let's make the clamshell with all the shit that NECA's not going to do. We're going to release them. Like, their fingers on the pulse of the collector community more than the actual retail companies are. I find that very interesting.
Yep.
Well, I mean, if you're going to make a knockoff, you make a better production of what's actually being released by the company. Which would you rather have? A cheap knockoff that's better, or paying more prices just for something because it comes from your actual company?
If you make a knockoff and it's better than the original, right? Does that mean that now the original is now the knockoff because it's a fucking shittier?
No, I don't think it's it at all. So, like, listen, you have OG Hasbro. Call it what it is, right? So, like, I'm a reseller. So, OG Hasbro Megatron. I've never owned one in my possession. I've held the Walmart reissues in, what was it, Johnny, 09 or something like that? They did it.
I don't remember when they did that.
One of the last
I don't.
Walter P38s they did And then so you have this company now that's making
909, bro.
I don't know. So you have this company now who's making the knockoff representation repop of Megatron. You have so many people like myself who grew up in that era who never owned a G1 Megatron in their personal collections that want that. This toy is out there now, and I'm sorry, I watched enough reviews where it's like, it's legit. It's legit enough. You open that package, you're owning a G1 Megatron. You feel like you're owning a G1 Megatron. You've got the stickers.
The tolerance on the scope is a lot tighter. So I was watching a review on that, and I was like, holy crap.
Captain Kyle?
I three different ones. I've seen 3 different reviews, and they all mention the same thing. The scope, as far as when you attach it to Megatron's arm, the tolerance on that is really tight. So coming off the box versus where, if you have your G1 Megatron, original one, it's pretty smooth as far as going in and out there. But again, it is a brand new one, so as you play with it, it wears and tears, and So it could be that
if you play with it too
original
much, you'll
figure.
wear it out.
I want to make sure let's give credit where credit is due. My review comes from Captain Kyle, Toy Spotlight. I want to plug him. He's awesome. If you don't watch his channel, that dude, every Transformer I've ever seen, whether it be Ally, whether it be Hasbro, he's always got a review at some point. Again, Captain Kyle, Toy Spotlight, coolest guy I have ever not even spoken to. And I hope to talk to him directly at some point. But if you want to watch Transformer reviews and anything you want to see, that dude's got it. So he's legit. He does a great job. He gave us a shout out actually once. So shout out to him for sure, man.
The hell?
Yeah, he gave us a shout out. I was talking to him on his channel and he gave us a shout out.
Oh, no idea.
So Captain Kyle, we love you, man. He's a good cat. He really is. And he's got cats in his thing. So it's like Raven with me. He's got cats that just show up while he's doing stuff.
Do they flash the butthole like Raven does?
They don't show their buttholes, but
he has a little more class than that.
So here's a question for you, Tony. Are you jealous that John has an original G1?
I'm more jealous that he looks like a Muppet in the dark right now because all I see is his head.
It's like that old. It's like the Death Row pictures from with Tupac and Suge Knight. Like that's what I'm saying.
Suge Knight. Jesus Christ. All right, cats. It is after 10 o'clock. Are we rocking or are we calling it?
I'm dipping either way. So
I know you got work, man. I'm sorry. We can call it. Nobody else is on the chat.
I ain't got shit to do.
All right, so let's go ahead and call
He
it.
never has anything to do.
Wow.
You're right. It's that beard. He's all he's doing is combing it.
Hey. Gotta make sure.
Anyone ever noticed? Like Wheezy has a super beard, Tony has no hair, but John's like the mix of between y'all. Small beard, kind of small amount of hair.
That's the first and last time Gus is going to be on the show. All right. So, no, man. So, thank you for coming. I'm going to call it. Guys, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thank you so much for being part of Drinks and Toys. Gustavo, thank you so much, man. You're on always as a quote-unquote kind of patron and talking to us and BSing. We love you, man. It's always a great time. Nicole, you're always saying things we don't know what you're talking about, but you're on. My love, Rebel Girl. Honey, thank you so much for coming on. You always like to banter with us. And, of course, Wheezy, Johnny, my beautiful counterparts. We have a great time. We always talk about what you guys want to. If you want to hear something else, please hit us up. Like, subscribe. You know the deal. We enjoy these live chats. And, as always, no caps. So I'm going to hit that stop button because, we stopping that